It started on a Thursday, the kind of day where the clouds couldn't decide whether to bleed sunlight or swallow it whole. I just left a meeting that left me hollow. One of those conversations where everyone speaks and no one says anything. So I went to a cafe. Not my usual spot, but one tucked between two taller buildings, its awning sagging like a secret. Inside, the air smelled of burnt sugar and oak, the kind of warmth that settles in your bones. I took a booth by the window, ordered a cappuccino, and pulled out a journal I hadn't opened in months. That's when I saw them. Two men at the far table, one dark-eyed, his gaze like a blade balanced on its point. The other, softer, golden, as if he'd been carved from sunlight. They weren't speaking, just existing in the quiet the way roots must live beneath trees. I didn't realize I was staring until the warm one looked up. Not just a glance, a recognition. My pen slipped, his lips curved. Then, footsteps, his shadow pooling over my table. Mind if I sit here? My better judgment whispered stranger, but my pulse was louder. He introduced himself as Rayan. His voice was the kind you could build a house in, low, steady, safe. We talked about nothing, the weather, the bitter aftertaste of my coffee, the way cities feel lonelier when you're surrounded by people. But his eyes kept tracing my collarbone, my wrists, like he was memorizing the topography of me. Then his friend appeared. Eli, sharp where Rayan was smooth. He studied me like a riddle. She's interesting, he said. Not to me, not to Rayan, but to the space between us. Rayan laughed. Make it 3? I should have left. Instead, I followed. Their hotel rooftop was all twilight and city glow. The music had no lyrics, just a bass line that throbbed like a vein. Rayan sat close enough that I felt his breath when he laughed. Eli's knee brushed mine, once, twice, each touch a question. Then Rayan's fingers on my wrist, not grabbing, painting. Eli's thumb circling the hinge of my jaw. The night unfolded like origami, deliberate, each crease a revelation. They touched me like they were learning a language, their hands translating the parts of me even I'd forgotten. The mattress sighed beneath us. The room smelled like their soap, their sweat, the shared oxygen of our lungs. At some point, Rayan whispered, "You okay?" against my throat. I arched into Eli's palm at the small of my back. More. They worshipped without words. Eli's teeth on my shoulder. Rayan's lips counting my ribs. Every gasp was a psalm. Morning came too soon. They walked me downstairs, both holding my hands, like they could keep the night from ending. Rayan pressed my knuckles to his mouth. Eli cupped my cheek, his thumb catching the corner of my swollen lips. I stepped into the dawn, my skin humming. I hadn't been searching for anything, but some truths only reveal themselves in the dark.